Hello and welcome to my Dark Lord deck profile. This deck was suggested by a viewer, so let's jump right into it. First, the monsters. We are playing 3 Yugioh. This can discard itself and another Dark Lord card to draw 2 cards from our deck. Just a great effect. Then we are playing 2 Amdisk. Amdisk can discard itself and a Dark Lord card to add any Dark Lord card from our graveyard to the hand. Then 2 Connzr. This can discard 2 other Dark Lord cards to special summon itself from the hand. All of these have the effect that they can, as a quick effect, pay 1000 life points, target a Dark Lord spell and trap in our graveyard, apply that target's effect, and then we shuffle the target back into the deck. The nice thing is Dark Lord spells and traps are really great, so you can use them from the graveyard with this as a quick effect. So it's a really nice effect that those have. Then we are playing 3 Indulged Dark Lord. This can, when it's normal or special summon a Dark Lord from our deck to our opponent's side of the field, and then we add another Dark Lord from our deck to the hand. This means that we can give a fairy monster to our opponent and then Rivalry lock them. Yeah. If we keep our stuff in defense position, they can't even crash the fairy monster we gave them, so this pretty much locks them out of summoning at all. And it's a search if we use this to get a Dark Lord monster from our deck to the hand. Then we are playing 3 Superbia. If Superbia is summoned from the graveyard, or rather when this is summoned from the graveyard, it can target a fairy monster in our graveyard except Superbia and special summon it. This sadly is a when effect, so it misses timing if you revive it with a Yugioh, Amdisk or Connzr that copied, for example, the effect of a Dark Lord contract. Because then the last thing that happens is that the contract is being shuffled back into the deck. If you use a contract from your hand to summon the Superbia, or if you revive it with a monster reborn, for example, then you can trigger its effect and just summon another fairy monster from your graveyard, which is a great effect. Like, you can do an instant rank 8 plate with this, or you just have 2 materials on the board as well. Then we are playing 1 Zerato. Zerato is a board wipe, and he pops himself in the end phase if he used this effect, but we can just revive him with Superbia again, or revive him with something else. Then we are playing 1 Ukobek. Ukobek is a decent normal or special summon, but most of the time we are gonna summon this off the Indulged Dark Lord to our opponent's side of the field, because it's a small monster, they can't really get rid of this, it's a fairy, and yeah. Then we are playing 1 Dark Lord Morningstar. This cannot be special summoned, which is really bad. It's a kinda bad towers, but if we use it as fusion material for the first Dark Lord, then we can pop all cards that our opponent controls. So it's kind of just a one-off to be used as fusion material. Then 3 Christia. Christia we can easily special summon because we can manipulate the number of fairy monsters in our graveyard very easily. And we have Condemned Dark Lord in our extra deck. This allows us to tribute summon a fairy monster by banishing fairies from our graveyard. So we don't have to use 2 tributes for the summon of Christia and can just sit on a Christia. Then we're playing some spells. 1 Reasoning, because we are playing many different levels. We are playing 8s, 10s, 3, 8, 6, 8 and 4, and pretty much everything is a good summon. And if our opponent mills a contract or the other Dark Lord cards into the graveyard with a Reasoning, then that's even better, because then we can instantly use them from the graveyard. Then Allure, just because our whole deck except Christia is dark, so Allure is a great card in this deck. Then 3 Dark Lord Contract. This can target a Dark Lord monster in our graveyard to special summon it, or rather just special summons 1 Dark Lord monster from our graveyard in defense position. Then 3 Trade-in. This can discard any of the many level 8s we are playing to draw 2 cards. Then 1 Monster Reborn, because it's essentially another copy of Dark Lord Contract. Then 3 Banishment of the Dark Lords. This is a rota for the deck, so it gets you any Dark Lord card that you need. And some traps. We are playing 1 Rebellion. This sends a Dark Lord monster from our hand or face-up field to the graveyard to destroy 1 card on the field. Then 1 Rebellious Dark Lord. This is a fusion trap, so with this you can summon the first Dark Lord very easy, or you can just copy the effect of this with another card and then summon the first Dark Lord. Then 1 Enchantment. This is pretty much a change of heart, so some backstory, all the Dark Lord cards were banned cards at some point, so like Monster Reborn, Change of Heart, this is a Pot of Greed, like there's super many cool cards. Then we are playing 3 Rivalry. As I said earlier, this has a really nice synergy with Indulged Dark Lord, because we can give our opponent a fairy monster and then they are locked into fairies, and this is just a good card by itself as well. If you play against an archetype that's only 1 type, or you just go second, then you can kind of cut this in game 2 or 3, but in the main deck it's really worth it in this deck. And finally we are playing the Sanctified Darklord. This is a monster negate and it can gain us some life points, so technically we could win in time with this as well. Yeah, that's the main deck. Now the extra deck. We are playing the first Darklord. This is a fusion monster I mentioned earlier, and if it's fusion summoned using Darklord Morningstar as material, we can pop all of our opponent's cards. Then we are playing 2 Condemned Darklord. This says that you contribute summon fairy monsters that require 2 tributes by banishing 2 monsters from your graveyard instead of tributing. So, for example, the Christia would require 2 tributes, and this way we can just banish 2 fairy monsters from our graveyard for the summon of Christia, or for the summon of Morningstar as well, because this can't be special summoned. Then an IP, just because IP is always good. 1 dark, because we can't really make the other Charmers in this deck. Like, the only non-dark monster we are playing is Christia, and Christia locks us out of special summoning, so yeah. Then 1 Unicorn, 1 access code, because we can just dark summon something back from our opponent's graveyard, make a Unicorn, and then Unicorn plus any material on the field is an access code. Then 1 Underworld Goddess, because you can kind of spam the board with monsters, and Underworld Goddess is just great to out some very problematic monsters. Then we are playing a rank 8 package. We are playing a Draglubion, a number 100, a number 38, as well as a Dingirsu, a number 68, a number 23, and an Argaeon, the Sea Castrum. This could banish 2 cards from our opponent's extra deck, pretty much. It's not the best card, but the other rank 8s are great. Then the side deck. We're playing 3 Nip, just because this format you need Nip. 3 Crow, because against Tearlevents and against Sprite you kinda need Crow. Then 3 Dark Ruler no more, because decks are putting up very many negates. And Dark Ruler no more is insane at breaking boards, this format. 1 Duster, just against back row decks. 2 Twin Twisters for the same reason. And finally 3 Anti-Spell Fragrance. We are playing quite many spells, so this is kinda iffy, but we can just use the spells from our graveyard as well. Like, if we have the spells in our hand, we can discard them with Naston, we can discard them with Amdisk or Ixchel to just get them in the graveyard, and then we can copy the spell's effect with those 3 monsters. So we don't really need to use our spells from the hand, we can just discard them and then copy the effects. So Anti-Spell Fragrance works even if we are playing like 20 spells in the deck. Yeah. I hope you like the deck. It's sadly not the most competitive one, because Darklord has kinda fallen out of grace, but it's still a really cool deck. I have a good friend that always plays Darklord against me, and I got some suggestions from him for the deck, so I hope you like the deck. If you have any feedback, if you have any questions, post it down in the comments, they should be around here. And yeah, I hope I can see you in the next video, and have a nice day, stay healthy, and goodbye.